Hi, I'm Rob Vickery. I am the co-founder and general partner of Stage Venture Partners. We are a Los Angeles-based venture capital fund. We invest in companies at the seed stage who are typically SaaS and enterprise software focused. They are building technology, typically frontier technology, that is sold to the enterprise. We've been investing for three years from our funds, and we've been angel investors, my partner and I, for many years before that. One thing that we pay a lot of attention to when we're meeting with startups is around the cap table. The cap table is really where all of your investors are lined up, and that refers to how much equity they own and at what stage they invested. Something we're extremely focused upon is having a logical cap table. A logical cap table means that we have investors in there who make sense, who have the right allocation of capital that will enable you to raise capital further down the line. One of the things in particular is you should have, if you're raising capital at the seed stage, you as founders should have the lion's share of that capital. You should not be giving away too much at each point. One of the classic mistakes we see a lot of are entrepreneurs and startups giving away large chunks of capital very early on. Clawing that back is a real problem. We as investors want you as entrepreneurs to have most definitely the controlling stake in the company, and at the seed stage you should still own somewhere between 60 to 70% of your company. What is left should be allocated out to your initial investors, and often if you're raising pre-seed, those are angel investors, maybe some pre-seed venture funds, but I would expect that to be dominated by angels. And there may or may not be a couple of corporates in those rounds, and also some strategic investors, some people who haven't put any money in but are offering you advice in exchange for equity. Myself as an investor, I'm a little hesitant, and I'm not that keen on people earning equity in companies without putting some capital in. It's just kind of how this business works. So often I'll be really careful, particularly when you're building a business. It's very tempting to go out there to consultants and to people who can help you fundraise or build a brand, or market your product, or actually build your product, like outsourced developers. Try not to give them any equity if you can, because they're not going to be in it forever. And also, they haven't necessarily put any money in. Your equity is your crown jewels. You must not give that up unless there's a really bloody good reason to do so. Now, going back to those two kind of groups, the corporate investor and the strategic kind of consultant type person who might own some equity in your company, with regards to the corporate, I would recommend not taking too much investment, if at all, from a corporate investor until you're well beyond your Series A. There's a reason for that, and that's called something called platform risk. If X large publicly listed company may well want to put $1 million into your company, the question you have to ask is, what opportunity cost will that create for me further down the line? If you take money from Samsung, will you be able to then launch your products with Apple, or vice versa? If you take money from Jet.com or Walmart, will you be able to then conduct business with Amazon? Big question to answer, and something you should be very careful about. What I would encourage you to do is, when you're later stage, is that make it seem like that corporate wants to do business with you. You should hold more cards in your hand at the Series B than you would do if you're raising money from them at the Series C, and you can then impinge on them requirements for their investment and for your business. With regards to strategic investors, it's actually it can be a benefit if you're accepting small checks from the likes of business development focused specialists who can get you into certain areas, but try and get them to put a little bit of money in if you can, even if it's $25,000 or $50,000 or something, just so it makes the cap table logical, it makes sense, and it also shows that they've got something else in terms of skin in the game other than just their network or their skills. That's what I would recommend doing. Once you have a clean cap table, you have to remember that every single VC through later stages will be wanting to review that cap table. So ensuring you stick to those rules, making sure that you have enough as a founder, making sure that you don't have too many people on there that shouldn't be having equity when they haven't done anything, and make sure that you've got investors that make sense and that can add value to you. If you have that, It's really, really helpful. One of the first things we ask for when we start getting excited about a startup is show me your cap table. And we'll be exploring that in a lot more detail with you if your pitch is successful. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to go out to our website, which is stagevp.com, and feel free to send me something through our contact us page. Thank you.